Greetings, Earthlings, and humans, and all other intelligent life forms, and unintelligent life forms, and, morons, idiots, imbeciles, just people who are walking through life asleep and being MK Ultra to death. Worse today than after World War II with Operation Paperclip and that whole thing that I talk about. But anyway, I'm going to still try to help you fight through it, even though you piss me off so bad. You listen to the worst fucking idiots instead of me. And I have about fucking had. And my guest today is a genius. Not only is she a genius, she's a chip off the old block kind of genius. It's my daughter, Brandi Brown. Hi, Brandi.
Hi. Happy to be here with you.
So happy to be here with you. Now, well, how are we going to tell the...
Where should we start with our story?
Where should we start with the miracle?
There are a lot of miracles for sure.
Ain't there?
Yes.
You said you, and it keeps going, right? As you get older, because you were telling me you stayed at my mom's house just a couple of months ago, and you looked in a drawer and found a letter I had written when I was pregnant with you in the home for unwed mothers. And you're 55, so that was a 55-year-old.
So, yeah, so you would have been 17, 18, right?
Yeah.
At the time of writing it. It was, I mean, when you start to be open to miracles, they're everywhere. And that is kind of the way for me, I think, to see them and to appreciate them. So, yeah, I went to Salt Lake. I was in your mom's house, my grandma's house, and something just led me to her room. And there were these 3 boxes. I didn't even understand, didn't even have words for, how it was happening. I opened it up, and there's a letter in there. And it caught my eye because it said Denver. And I'm in Salt Lake. And I was like, what is this? So I opened it up, and I'm reading it, and it's your handwriting. So I knew it was you writing a letter to your mom. But I didn't know the timing. Like, was this before we were separated? Was this while you were pregnant? Was this before, after? I didn't know the context until I read through the whole letter. And there was this mention of you saying, I felt the baby kick. And like everything in me, it was this amazing moment to get to realize what that meant for me, but also what that meant for you and what it meant for us. And to have this letter that you wrote during that time.
It never stops the miracles. No. They just wash over you all the time, right?
Right. And that's how you know there's, whatever people call it, there's a connection to the divine, because there's no way not to see it when you start seeing it. And in that moment, in that house, like it was sort of this wild rebirth, but also this genuine, like, love for you and what you went through that I can't even imagine. And now all these many years of everything that we've been through since the reunification and coming back really feels like this incredible soul contract that we made with each other before I was even here.
I think we did too.
I hate to interrupt, but we have to tell the story a little bit. People don't know it.
Oh, you tell it, Jake.
Oh, we jumped ahead.
Yeah, you guys are talking about reunification.
I'll let Jake,
okay.
Let him.
Well, you guys can, but just remember people don't know.
No, you do it because you're good at this, and I need to take a drink and a
That's
breath.
why I'm here. No, you had gotten pregnant with
Okay.
Brandi when you were young. You gave her up for adoption. We found her. You found her. The Enquirer found her. And we were reunited. I was 11 when I met you and 10 and a half when I found out that you existed. I had no idea. So when she says reunification, that's when we found Brandi and she came back into our family. And she has a lovely adoptive family. They raised her. They did a great job. But we've known Brandi since when
So here's the
30 years
crazy
ago?
thing. Okay.
No, you say the crazy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Well,
a lot
I know
of crazy
my
things,
crazy thing
but
is
then you can
crazier
share
than
your.
yours.
I mean, there's a lot of really wild synchronicities.
Okay, let me
Okay,
start
you
since
start.
I'm the one that had you.
Yeah.
Okay, you've earned that. Go ahead.
First of all, it was the most horrific thing in the world to give birth.
Oh.
Oh, no, Jake,
Your birth would no.
no, but it was. I had no idea. I asked my mom and grandma, and being the liars that they are, because they never told me the truth about it. They go, "Oh, you'll get through it. It's like
Right.
women do."
I mean, what were they?
That's
supposed
why
to say?
huh?
What were they gonna say then? I mean,
They should say, as I say right now to every girl out there, young girl, this shit hurts worse than death. It is awful, and it goes on for hours and fucking hours and continually gets worse until you feel like you're shitting a watermelon. I'm telling you what. That is the truth.
I hear you.
I was trying to escape the girls' dorm where they had us all at the what was the name of that home for unwed
Yeah,
mothers?
what is that? Like,
Oh,
why
it
were
was
you in
the
a
Salvation Army home for unwed mothers in Denver, Colorado, where now we see the whole circuitous story where the Jews fucked us all over.
Oh, I don't know.
You're talking
that part
about
of the
Planned
story.
Parenthood?
Now, I think they all knew our families.
Well, I think in the early 70s, so this was 1971, this was the big push. Like, there was a lot of coercion. There was a lot of pushing young women to make that choice. There was no counseling. There was no way that you guys could even share last names or find each other later. So there was a lot of like trauma around all of that. And they sent young women away with the stories so that, the people in the neighborhood wouldn't talk and all that. It was only like a certain amount of time where that happened. And that's kind of where our story begins, right?
Yeah, it's 1971.
1971. Right? The crazy part, another strange synchronicity, or maybe not at this point, was the family friends that we had in common, and that you went there pregnant with me Passover, and that you and Gail, my adopted mom. Okay, but
Here's how it starts, and then you can tell that one. Here's how it starts. Okay, I had you, numero uno, and the whole time I was thinking, my parents don't want me to keep my baby. They're not going to help me. And, I'm not capable, as I don't even know what day it is most days, right? So, all of them everybody got together. Oh, you're going to the Salvation Army Home for Unwed Mothers in Denver, Colorado. Okay. Anyway, cut to I have you. You come out. But my thinking was, I'm going to meet you again when you're 18 years old. Okay, so these are miracles. So you come out and one of your ears is bent just like my mother's. And you had red hair, just like most of my cousins. And I got to keep you for 3 days. And we had it all hooked up with the Jewish Family and Children's Services there in Denver, and that social worker there. So anyways, they came for you on the 3rd day, and I said to you, I will see you again when you're 18 years of age. And that I had kept that's why when I wanted to go into show business, I kept my name Roseanne Barr, because that's on the birth certificate, right? Because I knew, when I'm famous, she'll come looking for me, and then she'll know who I am, right? And of course,
amazing.
It was kind of terrifying that you never know where your kid is. And I asked the court, can I know about her? No. I mean, it's so brutal. They could have easily sent me a text. She's fine.
Well, they did the closed adoptions then. Now it's changed in 2016 in Colorado, but for a long time, and they thought, I think they were protecting everyone, including the young person. And it's like, it's so much harder to integrate all the information when you're older than from the beginning. I think they did a disservice to everybody and the
Yeah, everybody.
adoptee to not have that information. And they have since changed it. But yeah, then it was all closed. You couldn't, and they didn't tell you anything. So even if, and I kind of believe that I heard you because I never had that urge to go. And then it happened on my 18th birthday. We'll tell that story. But I think that the closed adoption piece, what they don't tell you is you have to go and search. But let's say I would put it out there that I wanted to find you. If you have not also registered, they don't tell you anything.
Crypto used to sound like something your weird cousin talked about at Thanksgiving, but not anymore. With Rumble Wallet, getting started is actually easy. You can buy Bitcoin, hold dollar-backed stable coins, or even own digital gold backed by real gold, all in one wallet that you control. And thanks to MoonPay, you can fund it with your debit card, credit card, or bank account. No rocket science degree required. So listen, because I like free stuff, and for a limited time, you can claim $10 in U.S. stablecoin, USAT. You can scan the QR code on screen, go to walletrumble.com, download Rumble Wallet, and enter the promo code Roseanne10. That's Roseanne10. One more time, Roseanne10. You can even use Rumble Wallet to support your favorite creators directly, such as me. So scan the QR code, head to wallet.rumble.com, download Rumble Wallet, and use the promo code Roseanne10 to claim your $10 in U.S. stablecoin, USAT. Don't wait around. Get started with Rumble Wallet today and take control of your money. Again, that's wallet.rumble.com and promo code Roseanne10. Terms and conditions apply. See the description below or visit rumble.com/promo official rules for details. No, that was way after. That
No, but
wasn't
she's-
my...
But I'm just saying,
She
once
said
you
that.
hit 18,
Oh,
you can request. But if you didn't sign, they still keep it closed. Now it's different.
no,
But
I did sign all that. Whatever I could do, I did.
okay. And I think until you're 18, like,
Yeah.
so either way, like,
That's probably why I thought all that. Because I thought
Probably.
you would,
So
wanna
here's the
know.
crazy thing.
Okay, now you talk about the crazy
well,
stuff.
one, you and Gail, who was my adopted mom, missed each other by 5 minutes, a block away from the house that I was raised.
What does that mean?
So the Wolfson family were actually related to the Davises.
Yeah, they were married.
Right.
My uncle Perry Davis married Risa Wolfson.
Right. And there weren't a lot of adoptions through the Jewish Family Service. I think my parents, Gail and Stan Brown, waited for 3 years for a baby girl. They had a boy, my brother Barry. So like how people didn't know is a little bit strange to me. But anyway, you came to Liz and Stanley Wolfson's, Risa's, for pregnant with me for Passover.
Yeah, I came there for Pesach.
Because it was your family, right? And you're doing this. And like, I was trying to think about the fact that, the story and a family so tied to the lineage and what you must have been going through to be, and then a family that was asking you to give that up. But you left early, and Gail had come after her Seder to say hi because they were friends, and you guys missed each other by 5 minutes.
Oh, I never knew that.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's like there's a million of those in our story. But
Yeah.
like, so Pearl Wolfson was like probably in her 60s or 70s at the time. She would have me over for tea, and like nobody understood why is this 7-8-year-old hanging out with this 70. And she was amazing, world traveled, and this really interesting woman. And we like loved each other. She would show me pictures. And I remember, and there's not a lot I remember when you're that age, like certain things sear and stick. And she would be like, there's Rose and there's Helen. She was showing me. So I don't know if she knew and was like kind of keeping the secret, or if she was just,
Well,
I think they all knew.
I think she knew. They never said, which is kind of amazing in one respect, but she was basically showing me pictures of my family.
Wait, I have
and
a
it was
question.
all of you.
You saw me?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you were adopted through this Jewish thing in Denver.
Yeah.
In Denver. This is all in Denver. This family lives in Denver.
Yeah.
I'm just so confused.
Her parents lived in Denver too.
No,
We
I know
all
that,
lived
but
in
when you
Denver.
went to the Church of Unwed or whatever
That was in Denver,
I went
too.
from Salt Lake to Denver.
was it a coincidence that your family was there, or was
It-
they part of the adoption process?
No, they
No.
just lived there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is all new to me too.
And Gail was best friends with Liz Wolfson. Like, I grew up with the whole family.
So when Gail applied for adoption, did she know that
They say no, but
There's no
literally I
way.
was the only.
They did tell me, they said your baby is going to be adopted by an architect, and they said your mom did something.
She was a teacher.
Teacher.
Is that what they-
Okay, so
And
they
they
did know.
already have one Jewish son.
Yeah.
And they have waited for a Jewish daughter for many years. So it's your daughter's going to be very loved. And I go, well, where is she? Goes, and they're here she told me they were there in Denver,
that
the adoptive
Okay,
people.
that I'd be-
So it sounds like they
let's
went
check
around.
this out. So there's like 15 Jewish families in Denver, and one every 100 years adopts somebody. And so they don't put it together that the person in their family was pregnant and went to Denver and gave up a Jewish baby who just happens to show up in their house 3 days after she's born in Denver. They don't all fucking, they're all, they
See, I
all
think they-
gaslighted us.
They had to know, and they kept it quiet. There's no other way. There's no other way. Right?
Maybe they did. They say they didn't. I think Pearl knew. And it was kind of lovely in a way that she didn't break
Yeah.
that confidence, but also she wanted me to know where I came from. Like,
Oh, that's cool. You never told me that.
Why would I remember it 7 or 8 pictures, and then years later when I met you guys, I was like,
That's crazy.
oh wow,
Isn't that weird?
And she had passed by then, but it was really amazing. So all these pieces and parts, and I feel like the adoption story and the Jewish story, like we're constantly trying to find those pieces to put together the whole puzzle, and it's wild. There's a lot I think that you learn from that, but you're constantly seeing the patterns and you're constantly seeing the miracles, because that's another like bit of light that you're integrating within yourself to become whole, and it's just
Huh?
so cool.
Whatever.
You go there with
Didn't
me.
you grow up around the
whatever.
street from me and Jenny and Jessica?
So you guys were in Bear Creek. I
Yeah.
was more in. It's not super far.
It's
and
not super-
And I would always like. And so
You were like by Tamarack Square. You were like 15 minutes from us.
I mean, I wasn't far from you guys, and I think I grew up. I always knew I was adopted. It's a weird thing because you come home and the concept of adoption sort of disappears. You're this family, but there was always this. Okay, there's this whole other family I'm connected to. Are they playing at the same like? I would look around, as you probably did, for the ear or different things.
Yeah,
because it's
always.
when you're adopted and you don't have that mirror of seeing yourself in your family, you're looking for it constantly.
Yeah, that
elsewhere,
would be weird.
right?
Yeah.
And so I remember the first time you and I met, we were like comparing our arms and legs and like scanning each other kind
Yeah.
of, oh, that's where, and it's a cool thing when you're not used to having that.
That was a mind blower, but let's go to, so I thought it was 2 weeks before your 18th birthday.
So, okay. So we'll go back to, yeah. So should we tell that when we were young, talking to God story? Because it kind of leads into the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the more we know each other now, the more we see, my God, we're exactly alike.
It's amazing,
It is,
right? And
so it ain't nurture, because you had kind of a rich family, and there's no nurture. You had sane parents.
Yeah.
and we
Well,
were
everyone's has their
yeah,
things.
but I mean,
No, but
come
you
on.
lucked out.
It's
Trust me.
nature and
I'm telling you.
nurture for sure, but it was like instant. We'll talk about when we first.
No, but why are
like-
we exactly alike? Our
Oh
lives
no! I
were-
mean, there's that.
there's no. What is
Yeah.
that?
I mean, it's the cord always, right? Even with the. So I'll tell you some. Well, we should talk about okay, so let's start with.
You said 2 weeks before the
Okay.
phone call.
So this was, well, what we didn't know, and you can tell your story of how the press came to you after the Barbara Walters interview. And they said, listen, we know you have a daughter you gave up for adoption. Right? Do you want to tell
No,
that
never
story?
happened.
They shoved you in the elevator before the
Oh, they
story came out, and you wanted me not to find out that way.
That's right.
So you hired somebody.
That's right.
So, but here, okay.
Yeah, that's the part.
So, all right. So I'll back up. So it's my senior year of high school. I'm just trying to get through it. My birthday's in May. It's prom. It's this, it's that, and all that. And all of a sudden, I'm at the checkout and I see a tabloid, and there's at the top is Roseanne Barr gives up child for adoption. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. There were no details. It didn't say male, female. It didn't have any distinguishing information about that young person.
All right, listen. I got to a point where I realized that every time I went to the doctor, I'd leave with absolutely nothing useful. They say, go drink more water, and then they send you home like you're a houseplant. Meanwhile, disease runs in my family. I'm getting older, too. Everybody's tired. Everybody has brain fog, and nobody knows what the hell's actually going on inside their body and out. That's why I got obsessed with SUPERPOWER. They make it stupid simple. You can have a licensed professional come to your house or go to a nearby lab, do one set of lab tests, and they check over 100 biomarkers. Not the basic stuff, but I'm talking heart health, hormones, metabolism, thyroid, vitamin levels, toxins, all of it that actually explains things in normal human language. And finally, instead of guessing, should I sleep more? Should I take vitamins? Should I change my diet? You will get a real personalized health plan based on your results. They even tell you your biological age, which is terrifying, but it is useful. What I like is they track your health over time so you can actually see if what you're doing is working instead of starting over every New Year's Eve like some lunatic. Make this year the year you stop guessing about your health with SUPERPOWER. For a limited time, our listeners are going to get $20 off to unlock their new health intelligence. Head over to superpower.com and use the code Roseanne for $20 off on your membership. That's code Roseanne, and after you sign up, they'll ask you how you heard about SUPERPOWER. So do me a favor if you could, and tell them that Roseanne sent you to support this show.
And it wasn't like I didn't normally read those something. It was just like, beep, again, those things. So I read this whole story, and it was just the inklings of it. And I remember I close it, I put it back, and as I'm putting it back, I said a prayer. I was like, whoever this is going to need, their lives are going to change forever. I'm going to send a little prayer to them. Never even thinking that it was me. I was like, oh, this poor SOB is about to get their lives are, I'm going to send a little prayer because that's a lot. This was like April 23rd or something. My birthday's May 16th. Well, what we didn't know is that a week before, they can predate. So May 9th for my 18th birthday for May 16th. Once you're 18, the press is like, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, that's right.
And we had our first phone call and we thought, oh, we're in the clear. Okay. So I read that story. I come home and we get the call from the private investigator. And he calls and I'm not yet 18. So he has to call Gail. And Gail and he call me after school. And he's like, well, hello. He's like, so I'm a private investigator. Your birth mother is looking for you. Would you like to talk to her? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, it was like already disorienting. And then Gail's on the phone. So I'm like trying to, like, how does she feel about this and whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, of course. Yes. And he goes, well, there's something else. I'm like, okay. He goes, well, your birth mother is very famous. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, like, I love to sing. And I'm thinking, okay, I know she's Jewish. So I'm like, oh my God, is it Bette Midler? And he's like, no. And I'm like, Goldie Hawn? You know, I'm like going through all the things and I'm like, Barbara Streisand? and then I'm out of names because I'm like, singer's Jewish. Okay. I mean, this is like before, you know, Pink and Gaga, whatever. The list was, and he goes, no. And he goes, it's Roseanne Barr. And I said, Jesus, I didn't know she was Jewish.
That's the
So
best
he
line
starts
ever.
laughing. Here's the crazy part.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, so I'm going to have her call you tomorrow after school. So then I have to go through the whole programming of
Oh my
God, what do I say? And I have 24 hours and blah, blah, blah.
Uh-oh.
I hang up the phone. Like, it's weird. It's already weird enough that it's birth mother. And then it's weird enough. This is 1989 where.
You told me you looked down on the coffee
Well, I'm going to
table.
tell that
Okay.
story.
All right.
But this is, the show was number one. You word the story everywhere.
Yeah, like
and,
the biggest star in the world at the time.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was
That
like.
must have been crazy.
It was weird enough to get a call saying your birth mother's looking for you. And then
Yeah.
this whole other, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So I hang up the phone and I'm like, the room starts spinning and I'm like trying to take it in. Like, it changed things. And I'm looking at the pictures on the wall and I'm wondering, like, who of the rest of the family have I, like, do I not even know from this whole other side? What do I say? This is so weird. I feel this instant connection, but we're also strangers and like we don't have a language, like it's all this stuff. Look down on the coffee table and it was like the, you know, the TV guides that they used to have, and it's you. And I was like, you guys are really funny. Like, this is, and I just staring at you. I'm like, oh, so it's you, huh? Like, it was just this weird
Did you
moment.
think it looked like you?
So then I ran to the bathroom and I'm like looking in the mirror. Like, what a weird reality that I have your picture and I'm like looking in the mirror of us together. And I was like, oh, because I saw it. I mean, how could you not, right? But you're on the cover of the freaking Dallas TV Guide. And I was like, oh, this is weird. This is going to be weird. And then next thing I know, but I also was like protective of you because it was like, none of that stuff meant that to me. Like, it was about you. And I was like, I don't want to come in. Anyway, I started getting the calls from the Oprahs and the this and the that to do all the, you know, offers, paying for college to do interviews, and the camera crews are outside. It was the days of Inside Edition.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could just show up at your door. Yeah. And anytime I tried to leave the house, this was not my reality at all. I'm just this little, you know, Texas trying to graduate. You probably were used to it. It was a few years into all that. There's a van outside and I was like hostage in the house. Like, it was just such a weird, and I was like, I don't want to start my relationship with you with any of that. Like, that was not, I don't know how I even at 18 understood or knew or, you know, had the capacity to, like, I just knew everybody wanted stuff from you and I didn't want anything other than just you and me. But it was like, it took on, then we're on the cover of the National Enquirer on my 18th birthday. I'm having to walk into school and people are like, it was weird to like see the response from everybody. They're chasing Gail into the house. She parks the car too far and she's diving over the hood of the car. And they're like, they call the house phone and they're like, we won't use that footage. Like, they were still kind of, but they would not let me. My car was in front with the van. So anytime I would go, even to drive to school,
Oh my God.
they would
just
rush
parked
me
there.
with the, so I was like, how do I even handle this? So I ended up
Crazy.
ordering a pizza to the van. And as the pizza delivery guy came, they saw me like run to the car and they're like, okay, we're going to let you off the hook for tonight because that's really funny that you did that. And it was like, I was trying to find these weird escapes. And then we were so nervous. We still hadn't met. We're like, how do we do this without them chasing or ruining that moment?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I called you, I talked mostly to Gail. We had a great
Tell me your
conversation.
memory of that, because I don't think I've heard you talk about
I
it.
was staying at the Mayflower Hotel when I was filming the movie She Devil. And that was weird enough because the first night I got a phone call and they go, hi. And I'm like, who's this? Go through it. And then it ends up, would you like it? This is my wife. Would you like us to come over and have sex with you?
What?
That was my first night ever in New York on this.
At the Mayflower, just
Yeah.
that
and
was
I
a
go,
part
how,
of the
how did
service,
you
or
get the, do you know who I am?
oh my god!
And they go, no, we just know when someone checks into room 513.
Oh wow!
I go, well, I don't think you and your wife would want to have sex with me. So, no. But anyway, and weird, it was weird.
That's weird.
Plus I was dating, or what was being,
With the one who will or won't be named today.
well, we named him, but I mean, that was a whole other
that was a whole thing.
otherworldly thing.
Yeah.
It was like I was
That's when we met.
seeing miracles and being dragged into hell at the very same time.
Interesting.
It was weird, but yeah, it was weird for me. But
Well, tell
so
me
they
how that
came
call
and they knocked
was.
on my door and they go, "Hi, Roseanne," in my Mayflower. I'm like, how'd you get up here?
This was the tabloid
Yeah.
people? Okay.
And he says, we have this envelope. We know where your daughter, and I'm like,
Oh.
so that's the night that I called the lawyer. And he said, put $25,000 in a, well, I don't know, I'll get the information. So later I found out he just gave it to the Inquirer.
I mean, we thought, oh, we're being so good. Like, and he worked for them. But
Always.
we're like, why are all these stories? They seem to know quite a bit.
It's so gross.
But
So we had no idea. I had no idea then. But anyway, I said, he goes, I'll give you the folder if you'll agree to a reunion story with pictures. And I said, no, I will not. I will not. He goes, well, we're not able to give you the packet until you agree to that. And I go, okay. And call
it
up
was
the
supposed to
lawyer.
be like information about me and where I was
Yeah.
in the packet.
Yeah, they were like
So I call
leveraging
that,
it.
okay, what do I have to do? Okay, $25K on the way. And the next day, they go, we found her, because they called each other and split the money. And
Well, either way,
so then I called you, and I was talking to Gail mostly, and you weren't hardly talking at all. And so I go, Brandi, do you feel weird? Are you, why aren't you talking? And you said, no, I'm just trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And then we said, well, we'll see each other, and we, made it.
made the plan.
She was
Yeah.
mad you weren't Bette Midler, is what it was.
Well, she looked so much like Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
That's why I could see, like, she'd be so disappointed.
That must have been so disappointing to find out it was Roseanne Barr, right?
She didn't
I
even know what
mean,
to do.
it was amazing and then to have that right in front of me. It was like the signs and miracles are there all the time. We just don't always notice. And I think, but we had to move up our time and our day because we were so worried that,
Yeah, the
we wanted
Inquirer
our
was-
moment
yeah.
before it became everyone
Yeah.
else's.
That's
and
so
they're-
weird. So you guys were rushed. That's the part we're talking
We were
about.
rushed.
Because the
But-
Inquirer said they were going to release the story.
Yeah.
Right. And
This is
I was
bullshit.
already on the
Yeah.
cover, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was already on
But
the
that's
cover.
crazy. So you guys met in secret, I imagine.
Yeah, that was wild. So Gail and I get on a plane, and we're coming out to see you and Geraldine, your sister, for the weekend. And it was like, okay. And it was just so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it was so
are we just
weird.
supposed to like hang out at Beverly Hills and go have a meal? Or like, how do we unpack this at all? And I remember I remember being quiet on the phone. Like, I just didn't even know how to process or
Yeah.
say, but I had, between that time and when we saw each other, I had put this photo album together. I was like, I want you to know these moments, right? And we're putting these pieces
right.
together. And as I'm doing that, like I learn about, my other siblings.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to picture them during these moments. I'm trying to picture what was happening with you as I'm putting this together. It's like it's like a puzzle. We're putting the pieces back together. And, but I remember, so we got on a plane, we came out to see you, and we had it set at this hotel, and you were going to get a suite, but we I think Gail and I were like nervous. We didn't know like how to process it. So we're like, we'll go downstairs to the cafe for an hour before and like just sit there.
And you were probably there.
You came early.
And I go, oh my God, I got to have a cup of coffee before I go up there.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, great. We have this whole thing planned out. And then we almost blew it. And we're just sitting
I
there.
walked in and said, I'd like to have a cup of coffee. And then it was like magnets.
Oh, no
It
way.
was.
Our eyes
yeah.
were like magnets.
Oh, that's so cute.
And we
It
both started running. We ran to each other. And I had a bodyguard, and he fucking grabbed us and shoved us through the cafe into the elevator.
Yeah. He's like, naughty.
Because he goes,
Yeah.
no.
Why? Because he thought people were going to take videos or something?
Yeah.
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 Everyone knew it was me, but I didn't have any control.
So the first time you met, a bodyguard was pushing you into an elevator shaft?
Yeah.
Well, so
Well,
I
into the
saw her
elevator.
walk in the
That's
door,
crazy.
and I'm sitting here, and we just were like, whoom. And so we like sort of ran to each other in the room. We're like embracing, we're crying, or whatever. And then everyone was like, "Oh my God!" Like, because they thought, I don't know, if people are gonna swoop in and
Yeah.
get the story or whatever. So yeah, he's like, "We made this plan. We're gonna get you in the elevator. We're gonna go up to the suite." And it was such a sweet moment because you and Gail, and we had champagne popping, and it was like for me to see you two like thank each other
Yeah.
for the amazing gifts that you gave to each other and just the
what
selfless
a wonderful
woman
Yeah.
What
thing
a wonderful
that women do.
woman and mother,
Yeah.
my baby mama.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was just this moment of like, wow. I can't even.
And prayer. And
Yes.
it was so Judaic. It
was,
really
yeah.
was.
And I think that that's maybe what got us through the time apart, because I think that I heard you say, "Oh, I'll find you when you're 18." It was never a negative thing or a concern or any of that. I don't know. Maybe at 18 you don't look at your life yet. Maybe it would have happened later, but there was a knowing.
Well, we bonded because I got you for 3 days.
Yeah.
And
that
we
must have been
bonded.
so hard.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was 3 days. I thought that they, okay.
And
Like Handmaid's Tale shit.
yeah, it was awful. And then I just,
So you downloaded all kinds of stuff to me
Oh,
in those
I-
3 days. Yeah.
I fixed you right up.
That's where you got all your mental illness from, right? Most of it.
And then I just said, okay, you know,
There was sort of this, like,
I'll
I
see
knew.
you when you're
It
18.
didn't even feel weird. It was like, oh, this is as it was supposed to be. Minus the.
The Inquirer.
But maybe that's what pushed us. Like, I'm also grateful for that because it brought
Me
us
too, because if
together.
I hadn't been famous, who knows if we would have,
Right.
you know? And if I wasn't famous, I wouldn't have that pain in the ass following me around. And they're the ones that found it. They
Right.
bribed somebody in the Denver County Clerk's office.
Yeah, didn't
That's
the
what I
Inquirer
found.
find Brandi before the PI, right? Like the National
Yeah, that's
Enquirer.
what I said.
Yeah.
Then the PI calls them
No,
up
I
and
know.
they split the money.
I mean, that's an amazing thing.
Isn't
Well,
it?
that guy who will remain unnamed ended up in prison because he did a lot of not great things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he for sure was on the payroll. I don't know, like
Yeah.
on the payroll.
They're
of
all on the
that.
payroll in Hollywood.
That's how the Inquirer works. So it's all bribes.
No, I remember I sued the Inquirer and won.
Yeah.
But enough about that.
Yeah.
But
I think that's
So-
amazing.
So we
then
met that
not-
weekend,
yeah.
and it was instant, and I remember, like, because I'm an overthinker, and I don't know if that's the Jewish gene or if that's just our family or whatever, but like I was running through all of this, and I'm in the car, you're driving, you're in the driver's seat, Gail's in the passenger, and I'm in the back, like kind of in the middle, having this moment, like, oh my God, I'm the bridge, like between these two women, and thank you, but also, how do we all get out of this unscathed? Because I knew it's a lot of work that we've done
Yeah.
with each other, with all of us. And there's like this sort of subtext that they don't tell you about. And I'm actually writing about it now, and I'm writing a book about our story, but also just the adoption as an adoptee process of healing it. Because so many of the books like are not on, and I don't want to say the other side, it's constant life work that I'm doing, but what we all learn from this is absolutely incredible. Like,
Isn't it?
It is, right? Like to
Yeah.
see things in such a different way, to learn almost a new language with a new family, to give love unconditionally with everybody. Because there's this sort of, and I don't want to hurt anyone. Both my parents passed in 2024. So the larger family. But anyway, there is a subtext of, we raised her. What are you doing coming back?
Yeah.
And there is a subtext of the other side, which is, thank you for taking care of my baby cub. I got her now. I got to make up for lost time. And it was this constant.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understood it. And everyone was lovely and well-intended.
Everybody was.
But there was
But
a lot
everybody dealt.
right. But
Everybody dealt. Like you said today, everyone stayed.
they did,
And everyone
which is amazing. And I
tried.
don't know
Nobody
a
just
lot of
went
other
F this.
families that would have, or other adoptee. It's hard.
No, it's a testament to your parents too. I mean,
For
they
sure.
were incredible. I remember.
We all were like, how can we get through this with everybody?
They were open.
Like a
and-
win-win for everybody.
Well, I hope
Even
can
when we have to check ourselves or do a thing or get our feelings hurt or whatever. And not everybody in all families, but like the key players enough.
No, it's
where-
unusual situations you have to deal. Even if you're like the most mature people in the world, it's still a weird.
How'd you feel when you met your siblings?
Well, that's the story I really want to tell.
Oh my God.
That's the best.
So,
story. My favorite story.
so anyway, hold on. So we're in the car and I'm like having this moment, and you look through the rearview mirror and there's this flash that we get because, and we've talked about this, like my first core memory, I'm 3 years old in my hall closet as a Jewish girl, like created my own Catholic confessional talking to God. And like, okay, I'm back, and how can I help? And what is all this about? And I know you have your Genesis story too. So we have this moment where I'm looking at you in the river mirror where we're like, without even words, we shared that story. So just that attunement that we were always like, had this connection, and we were walking with the divine Shekinah Hashem, whatever word you use for it, the direct connect that we always trusted. And then we had it together. But anyway, so this download comes, and that night I wrote like a 5-page letter to you explaining all the ways that I used
You
to
sent
have
it
the
to
gift
me.
of sight. I knew what people were thinking, feeling from lots of stuff that you had too. So anyway, I wrote all the things that I probably couldn't say in the phone call and in during the weekend and all that, because I'm a writer. It comes out that way.
Right.
And, on the hotel stationery and the whole deal. And anyway, so you called to say goodbye. And I said, I have this letter. And you said, yours will be in the mail. I wrote you too. And that was our first, like, oh. We'd written kind of each other, the same letter to each other. Like, I
Oh,
see
wow.
you. I recognize you. And, let's go.
I know. It's so funny because I'm like, in which book was it? I guess it's Roseanne Barr, where I wrote about, my imaginary friend as a girl was God, and you too. I mean,
It's wild. Here's the funny story. So I thought everybody did this.
I thought
I
they
didn't
did too.
understand. So I invited my girlfriend in to the closet, and we're sitting there, and she's like, "What is this?" we're sitting in a dark closet. Are there toys
You're
in here?
weird.
Like, what is this? And I was like, "Oh, not everybody does this, right?" So I was like, "Fine." I got a little offended, but I was like, "I'm not going to share this space with anyone." So, cut to. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Gail leaves Barry and Stanley, my brother and father, in charge. They're not paying attention to me. I'm very passive aggressive and brilliant at that. And I decided I'm going to run away from home. I packed my little bag. I can't cross a busy street, so I don't know how far I could go, but I was like, okay. So I sit and do the download, whatever. I'm ready. Well, Gail comes home. They can't find me. I'm not in the house. They don't remember the last time they've seen me. The neighborhood starts looking for me. They call the fire department, the police department, the whole deal. And they're freaking out.
Oh, my God.
And they're looking. And I mean, it was crazy. And my friend, I know maybe where she is. I'd fallen asleep. I didn't even get out the door. I didn't run away. I was the whole time for the 2 hours that the whole neighborhood was looking for me. She opens up. And I was pissed because now everyone knew my hiding spot.
You were in the closet, in the confession
I was
closet.
in the confession closet with my, unicorn backpack. I hadn't got out the door yet. Just asleep while all this is going on.
That's hilarious.
But my response was like, oh, shit, now I got to find a new place to talk to God. Not like, oh, I'm sorry I made you guys worry that I was. So I feel like
Mine was always like, I had to be alone. I'm a kind of a hermit. And when it hits me, I got to run. It hits me at weird times, too. I'm like, I'll be back. And then I like that we call it download. The download of swift information.
You get some good downloads.
I do, and I'm so grateful that he has gifted me with that, and I always had it since I was 3. I remember my first, experience with seeing another dimension was at age 3, and going, you're going to pull this dimension down and make it visible. And I have indeed done that.
You have.
That's pretty damn cool.
Over and over and over.
Yeah, I think maybe a million times too, but
that is what it is. I
It
feel
is
like
what it
that
is.
is what being Jewish means, is creating a world where God dwells here,
yes.
where heaven is here. It's not in an afterlife. It's not another faith where you're waiting to. The Jewish soul
On earth
is all
as it
about
is
doing,
in heaven,
all of
that's what that means.
Yeah. And it in its imperfection and in its contradiction, all of it.
All of it. And it's inside the human machine.
Right.
It's inside the mind,
Yes.
heart, body, and soul.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out there looking for it.
Right. Right. You're building it within, and that is
Yeah,
also
you're building your vessel to contain divine information. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're 55 double nickels, my favorite
I
number,
am double
55.
nickels. What are we
My
going to do?
favorite number is
What are we
5.
going to do? Are we going to start doing our revivals and being teaching Kabbalah and doing all this stuff? We've done a little bit here and there, but
We have done a little bit here and there. And
I have to say, I want
kept
to
it.
thank you for that, because I grew up very like the traditional Jewish aspect of like Sunday school and summer camps and all that, which was great for like the connective tissue of the holidays and the prayers and all that. But I always had this,
More mystical.
more mystical side, right? Like, okay, well, where's that aspect? And I didn't know. It was in Judaism all along. I didn't know. And I think what was really cool was, so we had our moment, and then we went back to like life as we knew it. I went to college, and then I came out to work on the show, right? And we were like, and it was such a weird thing, because it was like, I was the boss's daughter, and yet I didn't even know what that meant yet, because we were still like finding a language and how to even do that. We threw it all in there, girl. We were like working together, also working through our own stuff. And I think that, I didn't understand that post reunion, you still go through the same growth that you would.
Yeah.
But now I'm 20 in the toddler phase. And so we had all of that. We were going through it. I don't even think we understood some of that, but you taking me to the Kabbalah Center, not only just to awaken myself, but to give us a language
Yeah, that's true, huh?
was so important, because then we could work through our stuff through that,
Yeah.
and create our own. But I don't think people taught, like, it is a whole new language.
It's a whole new reality and a whole new connection. But actually, it's just a clarification of what you always knew but didn't have the words for.
I love that.
It's outside of the mind control cage. It's the actual reality
It's
of
very
how
true.
things actually work with God at the head.
It's true.
And, you know, they've taken that from us. But, of course, some of us have taken it back. And, you know, we really want to share it with people because we're supposed to do that.
Right.
But now it's like so dark, and there's so many people saying terrible things about Judaism, Torah, and Jews, and they're not even true. But they're shoving it down people's throats, these lies, historical lies, theological lies.
Why do you think? Why do you think?
Well,
that?
because God says in Torah that he created this realm, this earth, to be the place where good and evil would battle it out to the end.
But what
And
do
that
you-
good wins.
Right. But what do you think people are scared of? Because I think the bigger part of the narrative is who people are listening to and why. And it's not the proud Jews, it's the people who hate us, and that's how they're learning what Judaism is. And the October 7th and the Holocaust that we have made our story are not our story. That's the story of people who want to harm us. We need to be able to tell our own Jewish joy stories of what actually Judaism brings to the world, and they don't want us to do that. Why do you think? And we need to. And we
Because-
keep on our back foot, like, you know, trying to defend and this and that, so
No,
that we
I
don't ever
do
get to
anymore.
that.
I
I don't
don't.
either.
That's exactly.
You don't, but
I
a
don't.
lot of people do. You're strong, and I appreciate how strong you are.
Well, because
with
I know
your-
history and I know the truth, and you know, I know what was done, and I know, and there's archaeological proof. It's scientific fact,
Right.
And they are not for fact. They are not for truth,
Right.
And you know,
It's demonic.
it is demonic.
That's what it is.
Because Satan hates the Jews. Satan hates the Jews because we are God's people.
Yeah.
And of course he's going to try to destroy us. It's in my show.
Yeah, the book of Job.
The book of Job explains it all.
But what do you think they're like? No one tries to suppress something so much unless they're scared of what it carries, is what I think.
Well, they are scared of what it carries. Because it carries it carries, oh my God, I have to be responsible for the things I think
It is
and the
accountability.
things
isn't it?
I do. It's me. It's not them.
Right.
I am them. And them are me.
Right.
And I've got to stop this bullshit. It's satanic. It's demonic. It's, you know, there's right and there's wrong, period, always. And they are all about double standards. And that's how you know when it's satanic. When it singles out the Jew, it's satanic.
Well, when it singles out anybody, if you're not consistent in your
Right,
beliefs,
if you're not-
you're demonic. That's what
I
always
know
said.
it is singling out anybody, but it's usually the Jew.
Well, and also you're that's unique. That's something you really care about. But I see that as a pattern in human nature. If you're treating one group differently than every other, you're under satanic mind control.
yeah,
because you're not
double
consistent.
standards. Double standards.
Jews
like,
just the most recent example, in my opinion.
it's not just recent, it's
Well, you know what I mean.
ancient.
Yeah.
And it's like when Jews behave like human beings, that is satanic. That's how they think.
Yeah.
When Jews behave like human beings
Mm-hmm.
and not like they imagine a chosen people would be, then they get very angry because I think they think that if a people was truly chosen, they would be superhuman. But no.
No.
Well, I think it's really interesting with the chosen, because for me, it's like I got a double dose, the adoption and the Jewish story.
Yeah.
around chosen or
Yeah, because
choosing.
adoptive parents choose. They tell
Right.
you
And
were
then not
chosen.
knowing my history or roots. Like if it was a one question, that's different than every single year with the physicals, like it was in my face, like you don't know this, you don't know this, and then the Jewish thing, right? But I think people, it's chosen for a mission, as is every other soul. It isn't chosen above, and I think it got a rewrite from bad actors, but it's chosen for a mission. Everybody's chosen for a mission.
I was going to say that about the goy word. It actually means Gentiles. And as my teacher told me, the definition of Gentile is a gentle soul. They are not in uproar and a self-war like we Jews are.
Yeah.
And
And
they
so
have their
that's what it means. And I'm sick of them saying that we hate
No,
Gentiles
we
or that we
don't.
hate
We understand
other
everybody
nations.
has their mission.
We
and
know
they're
our
different.
war is within and amongst our own.
I like Gentiles more than Jews, to be honest with
Well,
you.
most of us
Yeah,
do.
they're way cooler.
Well, they're gentle,
Yeah, well, they're better in a lot of ways.
but they can be led astray very easily, which we're seeing in America right now.
Well, let me give you an example. This is where it is. People get confused when we talk about double standards. We just saw this report in the UK, 250,000 children raped by Islamists.
Girls.
Yeah, by Islamic rape gangs. It's been covered by the government. They didn't want to appear Islamophobic. The only reason I'm bringing it up is everyone that I look at that's anti-Jew, because I deal with the woke right a lot, they're like, oh, Epstein and this human trafficking, Jews rape children. Well, here's a clear example, just like the Vatican did. It's cover-up of child trafficking, child sex
Absolutely.
trafficking.
They're
Everybody's
all in
guilty. No group gets away, but all they talk about now
Silence.
is the Jew. And in the old days, 9/11 is an example. We knew Bush was behind it. We knew the neocons were behind it. We knew about PNAC. Now it's the Jew. And all this stuff where we're like, oh, there's bad here, bad here. Now it's been replaced by the Jew. And that's the catch-all for them.
Gee, where does that come from?
That's mind control from fucking German MK Ultra mind control. And that's
and
why
where
you're
does
satanic.
that originate?
From Satan, I would assume. Well, I don't know. Is this rhetoric?
Well, it does originate from Satan.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's why we're pushing back. It's not even. That's why I always try and bring it here. It's not a Jew or poetry thing for me. It's like I don't want to see people fall for demonic mind control that I love. I don't give a fuck if you're Christian or Jew or Muslim. If you're falling for this double standard, you're falling for mind control. You're falling for demonic mind control. You are now a part of a demonic
you're
system.
using the Jews as your moral hostages.
Yeah.
And that is not going to go well for you.
And you're ignoring a proven child rape trafficking organization. This just came out.
Well, you know why they're ignoring
Did
it.
Tucker mention it? Did Candace mention it? Have you seen anyone in the woke right mention this?
Well, they're all working for the organization that owns all of it. And, you know, they say Epstein, and every other Jewish name they can throw out there. But the fact is, as I've said for how many years now, Epstein would be jack shit and have gotten nowhere if it weren't for the royal family, specifically Andrew, and some say the king himself, and all the other royals who gave Epstein the keys to the city of London, where he perpetuated the greatest fraud on the working class of all the world. And so, you know, it's always the royals that, you know, push the Jews out to the hungry dogs of the street. Like, okay, you're talking about Tucker. He's an Anglican. That's a, you know, imperialist UK thing.
Nepo baby, as Dan.
Yeah,
calls
and,
him.
you know, the Pope, he's in bed with City of London. He launders money for him. He controls the UN, an anti-Semitic, devil-worshipping organization, which I'm so glad Trump destroyed. It's horrible.
Candace Owens
It's
is married
Hamas.
to a lord.
Yeah, she is a baroness. And they're all friggin' royals, and, you know, they just feed us bullshit
Yeah.
day and night, and then put a Jew in the window.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Trump knows it too, and that is why Trump has done everything he's done, and he broke them.
I hope so.
And it's actually quite messianic that he did so.
I hope so. He's scaring me lately, but that's another episode.
I know you think that, but no, it's not Trump, it's God.
Well, that's what I want to bring you back to. It's,
I'll be right back.
what do you think? So, to me, as I'm looking at the world, Judaism is the medicine that the world needs.
Absolutely.
How do we get that out there instead of saying what's wrong and who's doing what and all that? Yes, I think you guys speak to that very well on this podcast. But what is your message more to the medicine that Judaism provides the world? Because I see it all the time. I see it with the weekly Torah portions. I see it with Rosh Chodesh, with the women, with the Shekinah. Like, I think there's just, anytime there's a suppression of thought or ideas, to me, there's like, oh, well, there's something really in the indigenous communities and with women, with Jews. We have the medicine that the world needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're scared of it.
And it is about women.
It's all about women.
It's all about women. And that's why they don't like it, because Israel is the liberator of women.
Right.
And they don't like it.
They don't even see it, do they?
No, they're under such heavy satanic mind control that they would call the liberator the worst nation, the liberator of women.
In that whole region.
Yeah.
And as the seed of that everywhere.
Of all three Abrahamic religions that are, two of which are incredibly anti-women.
So how do you see this balance? We're so out of balance because the male has taken over, right? The Shekinah has been in exile. How do we...
No, that's not true.
Okay, tell me.
The male is the one who channels. The male is the one who raises her.
Okay, so what do we need to do there?
That's why when, on the holidays when the men have to dress in white and lay flat on the floor when the women don't. The men have to humble themselves more in order to accept the fact that is up to them to raise the female and the mother, to save, protect, honor the mother, their mother. And, but women are the wild card. That's the whole
women are
story
waking
of,
up,
well,
man.
that's the whole story of
1.3
Eve.
billion women now.
Well, like I told Jake, the day that the women in Gaza said F you to Hamas and went to the Israeli corridors, I knew that was huge, and it is huge.
Iran.
It woke up all the men, too, and they're now, demonstrating against Hamas in the streets of Gaza. It's the higher intelligence. And the same with, why I lost my job, because I was communicating with women journalists in Iran about the shit fucking deadly satanic Iran deal of Obama and Valerie Jarrett. And I did want to ask you that. How did you feel when your mother was fired and the whole Jewish humiliation routine? I had the gauntlet. How did you feel?
It was rough because you and I had been at the upfronts a few weeks before all that, when they were celebrating you and it was all a big thing. And I was working in peace building, but also kind of in media. So when the show came back, it was so important because Middle America's Voice had, all this stuff with Sinclair News, and it was obvious certain sound bites were being put out from, and both coasts were, kind of in charge of that narrative. And a lot of people in Middle America from your original show just didn't have a voice and felt that and were the punchline and joke instead of being listened to of what they were going through. And it was a hard time. And
now they call them the racist Trump supporters.
Right. And so that's the framing, right? So when when the reboot came, I was so excited because you could tell they were like, oh, someone's talking to us, and not talking down, but like actually having a conversation. Because when we worked together, like, anyway, I think there were certain things that changed in Hollywood in terms of like more diversity of different groups and colors, but not a diversity of thought.
Right.
And so
Just bots.
Yeah.
you know, I understood what was happening. It's the pattern recognition, right? And knowing you and your whole history of who you raised up, who you supported, and the way that they made it into the racist thing when it wasn't at all. And it was, I didn't even know how to be there for you or hold it because I could tell what they were doing, and they were trying to, and it was just the juxtaposition of you and I having just been in New York together celebrating. Then the tweet hitting, and then again the doxing of your mom's house, and people like where we've gotten to in civil society that we're like okay with these things and the canceling and all of that instead of like having a learning moment or having a conversation. And it was like heartbreaking because I didn't know how to be there for you in that moment. And also I knew we as your kids couldn't say anything, and that you couldn't say anything, and that the spin, as we're seeing now, is everybody else telling the story instead of the actual people that could have had a voice in that moment to speak their truth. They don't allow that.
No, they don't allow that at all.
And, you know, whatever anyone thought, like in how you said it, or the missteps, or the this, or the that, like just the cruelty of how, and these were people that we worked on the show together who doubled down and made it way worse than it would have ever been had they not. It was the deepest like heartbreak to see like people that I don't know if you felt this way, but like they were your family.
Yeah, of
You
course.
gave them careers, or at least helped their careers to some extent. Like at the very least, they could have just not said anything.
Well, I wrote all the lines that came out of their mouth that people loved them saying.
That was so hard to like,
Ugh.
and not know how to be there for you with that. Had to feel like just complete utter betrayal.
It did. It felt like, oh my God, they're going to try to kill me.
Well, it was utter betrayal. I didn't feel like it. It was absolutely betrayal.
Yeah.
100%. And it was weird because you would think better of people that you were close to. But
Well, you would think
That
better of
know you, that
people
know your
I
work, that
helped.
know decades of what you stood for, what the show was about, what the issues are. Like, it's absolutely absurd to anyone who knows you, even in the littlest bit, that that's how they painted it as a racist tweet. That,
well, it was their like Michael Fishman's a perfect example of, for him it was his chance to, virtue signal. So
Right.
he knew he was doing it wrong, but he was like, this is an opportunity that might help me. And that's the
Yeah,
the
that's
grossest
exactly
thing.
it.
And
Is
that's
that
the
what-
grossest
I
thing
don't know.
people, like that's unforgivable. Goodman and maybe Lori, they were kind of kept quiet. I didn't like it. They should have stood up for mom, but at least they were kind of quiet.
right.
For someone like Fishman or Sarah,
That was hard.
or Whitney to go out there and be like, oh, this is my chance to talk about this on a podcast and build my name. That's the grossest thing I've ever seen. I'm not even mad about it anymore. I'm disgusted, which is worse than mad.
Well, it's hard
I
because
thought it was just, I was so glad, that I was a Jew and that I had all that in me to hang tight.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have that, I don't think I would have lived.
Yeah.
I had that, like you're walking through the fire right now, but there's a reason for it, and you helped. You helped the women in Iran, and that's all I wanted to do with that tweet, and it did.
Yeah.
And I saw evidence of that every single day.
More so
Getting
now.
stronger and stronger. And now, just now I was thinking people might be able to understand what I was saying in my tweet just now,
just now.
10 years later.
Well, you got to ask yourself, like the people's responses, and that they went to that. That's their own mirror for them
Yep.
to look at, right? Why they were, and why they iterated it, and all of those things. But I think you're right. Like, and you're a lot of ahead of the curve. And we, as your kids, like you say stuff, and we're like, well, we're considering it, but we're like maybe not there yet. And then there's always a period, like a few years later, where we're like, Oh, I understand now.
That's
what
going to
she
happen
was
with the
saying.
Royals. With all the stuff about the Royals, that's like your MK Ultra from 20 years ago that's now mainstream. The Royals will start happening.
How about like in 2011 when I coined the greatest hashtag ever, which I see they've scraped from X or whatever.
What?
Hashtag pedo,
Ponzi.
Ponzi, pirate, priest class.
Of
I can't wait till
pharaonic-
people get that.
Of phallic, pharaonic, or there's more to it.
Well, I want to.
Of phallocratic feudalism.
Yeah. Pharaonic.
Well, it was
Yeah.
phallocratic,
Oh, okay.
pharaonic feudalism.
Right.
I kept adding.
Yeah. It's like the LGBT is now like 40
But
things.
it is that.
Yeah.
It's
But I want to anoint you as
It's the satanic.
I want to anoint you as the bring more light. Like, don't let that pull you down into a lower frequency by spending too much time there.
Oh, it
like
hasn't.
you can, you know what I mean? You can speak truth or power. You can say all those things, but also bring the other piece, which I think is so important that I think a lot of
I think
Jewish
it's time
people
to
don't
start
know.
talking about Judaism. No, almost no American Jews know a thing
Well,
about Judaism.
it's painful to carry when you've seen what carrying it means for your family, right? And
Well,
I
but
think
they wasn't even carrying it. They was coming up with some hybrid shit that came from a bunch of lunatics.
I think there are a lot more
But the
people
real stuff,
now.
The
October
real
8th,
stuff.
people were like, oh, our grandmas we thought were crazy telling us, don't get too comfortable. People are going to turn even in rooms. People are seeing it. And I think,
Well, because it's a tactic of royal power.
Yeah.
well, it is a Nazi playbook. I mean, it goes back before even then. It's an
not even
anti-Semitic
Nazi. It's
playbook.
a eugenicist playbook, and they've been trying to breed humans like they did with the African slaves they brought here. Human husbandry.
Yeah. That's
They've
what it
been
is.
doing that forever.
Yeah. Epstein was doing that shit.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
I think for
And
me-
why? Because the royals helped set him up to do it.
I think
Because they are Nazis. Let's be real. They're German. They're not English. For fuck's sake. They set up all these fake countries just so they can have war and sell weapons.
I mean, that's a lot of it. I think I've been really going deep with the
God just wants us to witness it. To be brave enough to open your eyes and witness what's right in front of you. And people cannot do it. They go and they give them an easy out. Look at the Jews. But hey, look at how power works. Look how it works you. To tell you the answers are outside of you. That's how it works.
I think I'd love to hear more about like the pattern recognition that we see, but also the understanding that we also have the antidote.
Well, we do. Absolutely.
It's not only to be able to recognize, but then what do we do? And I think people don't realize, people ask,
Here's
like,
what it
what
is.
would you do during the Holocaust? Like, people ask these questions. What would I have done? Whatever you're doing now. Because you're buying the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And wherever
I know
you're,
what I would have done had I been there.
Tell me.
I would have shot every Jew in power who spoke for me.
Yeah.
I would have shot them in their beds. Just like the Maccabees.
She was going there.
No,
That's why I
just
love
like
her.
the
She's the
Maccabees
best.
did.
Yeah.
That's how the Maccabees won. They snuck down from out of the mountains using bonfires, bows and arrows, and they shot the colluding high priest of the temple right through the neck, and then paraded his head around on a stick.
Yeah.
And the Romans, it was the Greeks then, ran in horror. Because, you can't get more real than that.
Yeah.
It's like, was it proportionate? Fuck you. You're trying to kill me. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you before you kill me. Because that's what God told me to do. Fuck you.
Why did you look at the camera for that?
So they can see my eyes. Fuck you all. You don't even know
But
what
if
you're
this
talking about.
if this iteration of anti-Semitism,
And I
Jew
say that
hatred,
because I love you.
Yeah. Sorry, Brandi, what were you saying?
What?
That's all
We're
good.
getting.
Say what?
If it's the same iteration and the same pattern, right? For anti-Semitism, Jew hatred, however we want to say it, for the times, it's
We have
rebranded
to
and all
kill
that.
our leaders who collude with our genocidal enemies.
I agree with this.
That's one.
Yep.
But
Okay,
what's
well,
this-
let's not kill them because I don't want to go to prison. But what I do on Shabbat is I pray against them, that they be removed. Not that they die, but they be removed and replaced with a person of conscience.
That would be great. That would be great.
Because the Jews, we do have the antidote, and the antidote is in Jewish meditation and prayer. That's what it's about. Prayer.
What, the transmutation, the transformation.
Connecting heaven and earth. Arousing the upper court, the upper world that hear you. Not sit there babbling, asking for shit when you pray, but to actually ask to be a living channel of your source. There's nothing more fun than that.
It's pretty great, isn't
It's
it?
pretty fun.
Can I ask you a quick question? I know we're in a good zone, but I don't want to forget it. You meeting me and my sisters.
Oh,
is
yeah,
my
we
favorite.
wanted
Oh
to hear
shit,
that.
that's
it's
some
the
funny
best story
shit.
because that was a time.
I was a time. Okay.
And you were in Dallas at this point, right?
So yes.
Yeah.
So I
Do you mind if we
went-
do this? I just wanted it.
Oh,
I
no,
love it.
This
I
is
wanted to
really
hear.
hilarious. So
I asked her that and she never answered.
we do.
We
need
went
some
off. I'm here. That's why I'm here.
comic Relief. I appreciate you bringing it back.
That's why I'm here, baby.
Okay. So after
You're
we-
not like me at all, that in that you don't go off on tangents.
Oh,
Yes,
fuck
she
yes,
does.
I
Brandi
am
never
kidding.
shuts the fuck up.
It was
Oh,
sarcastic.
Okay.
I know. I was like, how the house is 7 of us this week with all the ADHD and neurodivergence. This is gonna be fun. Okay.
I'm here to keep everyone on
Uh
target.
huh. That's what he thinks. But anyway, so we love you for that, and
of
you
course.
are in these moments. You are that for sure.
In every moment in history since the beginning of time. But
Tell
more
about
importantly,
meeting
yeah.
your
Okay.
siblings.
So I go, it's my first time to come out and meet the siblings. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Anyway, I think you guys had a house
We're in
renting
Malibu.
a house in Malibu.
Yeah.
So I show up and what does one pack from Texas when you're going to meet your
I think
siblings?
didn't you have a
and
white leather jacket with the?
Oh my God, y'all. Contempo casual, lace, matching shorts with lace on the bottom and this jacket.
Did you have
like
a cowboy hat?
all white, no, frosted brownie lipstick, the Texas, 80s
hair was this
hair.
high, I
It
remember.
was, I probably killed the ozone layer myself in the 80s, Texas and whatever.
Aquanet.
And I show up and Jess is in her goth phase before it was cool.
Yeah.
All black, like so the juxtaposition of the all white with
I was
the
there.
whatever.
I remember. Yeah.
Well, I'm getting to you. And then with the, and you could only see one eye.
Yeah.
Like, and it was all, and
Pale.
So, and then
black-headed
you
tail.
were what, 11?
Yeah, I was 11 when you and I met.
Okay.
But go to Jenny next.
But you ran from me because you were like, I don't know who this is. and
Yeah,
this
I was
is weird.
creeped
Like
out.
you, and I was like sitting in the house, and Mom would like leave the room and just try to give Jess and I time. And we were just sit in silence. It was just like, we were like, what is happening? So then,
We're talking real goth,
I mean, real goth.
like creepy goth.
Oh,
like
yeah.
emo is
Creepy goth.
watered
It was
down.
like,
Yeah. You must. Have
you
been
didn't
so
know
uncomfortable.
what language she was going to speak if she
Yeah.
did. I mean, it was like a whole thing. And we were looking at each other like, what could I possibly say to
Here's your
each other?
sister.
So then Tom is like, we're going to go meet Jenny. So we get in the car and we're like, we're driving 100 miles an hour up highway, whatever, the Pacific Coast
Yeah, 'cause he's
Highway.
probably
Like
on
people are
coke.
trying to run us off the road, the heyday of still all of that with them. Anyway, we show up and Jenny's in a lockdown facility.
A mental hospital.
Mental. Okay. I'll let you guys
Yeah,
say that.
that's
I'm
why I'm
trying to
here.
find the PC
Yeah.
term. She'll be here later this week. She can
Yeah.
tell this story too.
Yeah.
So
Or
anyway,
next week, Jenny.
So we walk in and all of a sudden I just see Jenny, this sweet little angel, like
Well, not little. She's like 300 pounds at this point.
Jake.
Tell the truth.
I'm telling my story,
Let
and
her
you will
tell it
not
her
slander
way.
my sister, your sister. Okay. So she's like, runs up to me, puts her arms around me, and
Waddles.
she's like,
Jake. He's so horrible.
hugs me.
That must have
She's
hurt.
like, oh my God, my long lost sister. I'm so happy to meet you. And I'm looking and I'm going, why is she locked up? She seems the most normal of like everyone. And then, so we have our little moment, like instant, whatever. And then I'm like, and then Tom's like, we're going to family therapy, which is like my worst nightmare. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but like
No,
I
we
was
didn't.
Yeah.
totally opposed. Okay. They try to get me, parents divorce, to sit on the other side of this ginormous table with Gail's shrink. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, no, there's no way there's going to be any confidence here. And this is no, thank you. And then the other was when my brother had some issues with substance abuse. We'd go to family therapy in a lockdown facility like this one. And it never ended well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I had some context, but I'm like, literally the first time meeting you, and
Yeah.
you're like cowering, like you
Yeah.
couldn't make eye contact with
Yeah.
me and the whole nine. So
Still
we
that
go
way.
in and I was like, okay, well, it'll probably just be a continuation of family therapy. Like they're not going to call on me. It's not going to be a thing. Like, I don't know where you left off and where. So the doctor is like, well, how does everyone feel to have Brandi with us? And I was like, are you shitting me right now? Like I'm looking for a hole in the ground it was the whole session was, and she could tell like none of us have talked. None of us like, she started to set
So
up
awkward.
play dates for each of us during that week. She's like, well, you'll go and walk on the beach. Obviously I can't, with Jenny, and she had Jess and I.
Because she couldn't walk.
Oh my God,
Jake,
Jenny.
stop it.
Jenny.
On the
We're
beach,
going to
'cause
hog
she'd
tie
get-
him when you come
she'd
here
get
tomorrow.
harpooned.
He's so fat. That's why he says all this.
Sorry, go on.
Projection.
Go on.
But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later. Yeah, we should. And I'm going to have Jenny sit there. And anyway.
Jenny will have to sit over there. 'cause
She's
we need a
going
bigger
to
chair.
take him down when she comes in.
She
here.
probably
So
double
I don't
legged.
know. Should I tell this part of Jess's story or do you want
Yeah,
her to
go for
Okay.
it.
So she was going to can you fill in the gap of what the meeting was?
AA.
I guess we'll just say that. I don't want to. Anyway. And the doctor's like, well, you'll go with her. So the nanny at the time drives, we still have not barely spoken, to this meeting. And they all think I'm there, like, to be part of this, get the chip the first day whole thing, right? And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll do whatever I'm supposed to do because I'm trying to bond with my sister. And it was the most horribly uncomfortable. And it was like all these kids of Hollywood celebs
Yeah.
and people that have been through it at a very young age. I'm very pristine, still a virgin. Like, I don't, and I'm feeling bad being a voyeur to these stories that I shouldn't be hearing. But they're like, here's your 1-day chip. I'm like, so we go outside and I'm standing there and Jess is like smoking a cigarette and her girlfriend comes over and we still haven't really like even like had a moment to like, it's so funny. So her friend comes over and she's like, who's this? And Jess is like, my long lost sister. And I'm like, oh my God. Like if it couldn't even be more awkward. And I was like, can I have a smoke? Cause this is like, and we bonded like over the cigarette. The whole way home, we're like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, what happened? And it was like, oh, well, maybe she's not that good girl because she had a cigarette with me. And from then on, but it's just so funny.
See, cigarettes have really healed our family.
Yeah,
haven't
heal
they?
the plant. No, we're still going to make you quit. But, and then we had our walk on the beach. Like, so it was kind of this lovely, but also like, oh shit, what are we all in for in this? And it was.
And now, cut to now you have your own child.
Yeah.
So this is what's wild. And I've loved watching you with Ari, always, but like now that he's 19 and you guys can like relate like in a whole different way. And has like your sense of humor. There's so many things
so
like I've
funny.
just
Yeah.
been waiting for this moment. But also what I didn't really think about is the multi-generational aspect of adoption, because he started asking these questions like all kids do, trying to figure out like who is what and what tree, but he was asking in a way that, to me, because I'm trying to heal it as we're doing it and find new language and words and different definitions. I mean, the Hebrew word for adoption is to strengthen.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh. But he would ask these questions like, who's my real, and like, he didn't mean anything by it. He's
Yeah.
a young kid. But for me, those words, I had replaced real, bio, adopted. Like, it was just, it took a while for us to get there. But like, how do I tell him this story so no one's more than, less than?
Right.
And you don't even think about those moments where you have this gift to write it differently so that he doesn't do that, right? And he was like, well, who's blood and who's this? And I'm like, who's real, who's not, and stand in the line and you. And I didn't want him judging anyone for any of it or any choices made or, well, is Stan less because he's not biological? Is Roseanne
So
more
what did
because
you-
she is?
Right.
And
What'd you
like,
say? What word?
I mean, it's so deep to go to each one of those. Like, we had those conversations that went on and on. And I hope, I mean, you could ask him, I hope that we were the cycle breakers for our family in that, where he doesn't carry. And I don't think he does. He loves everyone, and he's so blessed to have. He had a nana, a nanny, a granny, a babushka. I mean, it was a lot for him
Yeah.
to, but also,
He's really lucky.
wow, the bridge. So he's now another bridge, right, between all the families, and so blessed to.
Yeah.
And I think we don't talk enough about that.
I love how he's all fucking just like me too.
He's
He's
got a lot of you.
ADHD, CI, whatever.
I know.
But we have a shorthand language. I'm like, get over there and do it.
and he did.
and
He
he
sat and
did.
played for an hour. He was learning that song for you, and I was like, cool.
Yeah, it's a shorthand.
We all need a little bossing around from Granny.
I mean, it's just great for me. This is my story, that a story of miracles for a girl who had it kind of rough growing up and believed all along that God would make everything come out for the best. And of course he did. And it's just more proof of how lucky I am to have a connection to him.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And I love you.
I love
You are
you
so
too.
gorgeous. I'm so thrilled with the way I did your makeup. As I'm sitting here
Thank
looking
you.
at you.
I
You're a
mean, I
gorgeous
saw you
woman.
doing your eyes thing. Glad to be the.
What a great
Canvas of
conversation,
you.
baby.
Well, I
Yeah.
want to hear more about how you got
Amazing.
through that each time, each iteration. I don't know if we're at time or whatever, but like you said something that really stuck with me, even during that time
What
of
time?
the show and the canceling and the whatever. Like, you knew you could get through it because of Judaism, because of Hashem. And I think a lot of people out there need that. A lot of people are hurting. They don't understand why do they hate us so much. What's the targeting? What are the pieces and parts of Judaism, like beyond just the pattern recognition? What are the tools? And I would love to hear you talk more about maybe one that helped you through that time that feels like, because to me they're all tools. Shabbat is a tool.
Yeah,
The
it's a
moon cycle is a
technology.
tool. The parsha, the weekly parshas are tools. The tree of life. But like, what was it for you that really helped you get through that?
Well, the one thing that Judaism, why it's so fantastic, is that it teaches us that there is nothing but God. And that's how I got through. You know, it looks like you're suffering, you're going down, you're having a rough time. That's so you can learn, so you can grow. And you will grow, because there is nothing but God. And there's only one everything.
And he always wins.
And what do
Well,
you
of course he wins. He created he wrote the story.
Yeah.
What do
And
you
of
think?
course he's going to win in the story he wrote.
Right. But what
And
do
we're
you
very lucky to be able to read that story and understand it with 6,000 years of memory bank. So
That's
we
the
won't
thing,
let them define who we are by their satanic definitions. We will hold fast to the Creator of all life. It's just great.
I'm excited to go and be teaching with you and to be getting this out there.
We're going to
and-
teach because we think, well, when darkness is getting strong, we do have the antidote. We do have the light. We'll teach people to go to the wall and flip the switch, because that technology does exist in Torah. And yeah, there's a big, big change coming. And of course, God's behind it. And everybody's going to come home to God.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
See ya.
Oh, you see, my patience is growing thin.